of our resistance is clear. It is not an act of anarchy or rebellion. Rather, it is an act of resistance to a government that is violating the purposes for which our Creator has ordained our civil government. We are not anti-government. We're not anti-war. We're not anti-tax. We are not anti-immigrant. We are not anti-law enforcement. We are merely, simply pro-Constitution and anti-fraud. We are against the extremists in government. We are pursuing peaceful reconciliation and petition. It has been our presidents, Congress, and the courts who have refused to respond to our petitions for redress of these grievances in violation of the First Amendment, and who continue to violate and undermine the supreme law of our land. We have no desire for resistance or violence of any kind. However, in the people's peaceful attempts to have answers, the people's petitions and appeals have been met with force, and in some instances, with near military force. The defense of our homes, families, properties, and possessions is a most important point to us. It is our heritage. It is our right. There is not the most distant thought of subverting the government or of hurting the interest of the people of America, but of defending our personal rights, freedoms, and liberties from unjust, unconstitutional, uncivil encroachment. There is not the least desire of engaging in civic actions against the leaders of the branches until it becomes absolutely necessary, and indeed, it will have been their choice. Our political leaders know that our cause is just. They know that we, the people, struggle for that freedom to which all men are entitled, that we struggle against oppression, seizure, plunder, extortion, and more than savage barbarity. We are not moved by any light or hasty suggestion of anger or revenge. Through every possible change of fortune, we adhere peaceably to this determination. Our property and happiness have been attacked. Our self-defense against an aggressor government is righteous. Our civic or civil action will be for the cause of civil justice, a righteous struggle undertaken in defense of our property, our happiness, and our families. It is to oppose the invasions of usurped power. We will bravely suffer present hardships and face future dangers to secure the rights of humanity and the blessings of freedom for generations yet unborn. It is our obligation as responsible citizens of this country to set a proper value upon and to defend to the utmost our just rights and the blessings of life and liberty. Without this personal commitment, a few unprincipled individuals would tyrannize the people and make the passive multitude the slaves of their power. Thus it is that civic action is not only justifiable, but an indispensable duty to correct these wrongs. It is upon these principles that we are resisting what is taking place in our government, and we will not back down. We await the day when the system of governance in this nation is restored and the Constitution is obeyed. We will be a positive, righteous, and prosperous nation again. Today, delegates to Continental Congress 2009 and others from each of the several states serve this document titled Articles of Freedom, with its remedial instructions on our federal government and state government officials, placing them on notice that we, the people of America, believe them to be in violation of their oath of office and the Constitution for the United States of America, and we trust they will either respond to our petitions for redress or comply with the remedial instructions contained in the Articles of Freedom. Thank you.
We will now have a reading of the preamble to the Articles of Freedom by the second delegate for New York from Continental Congress, John Wallace.
In defense of a free people, the time has come to reassert our God-given natural rights and cast off tyranny. Let the facts reveal the federal government of the United States of America was instituted to secure the individual rights of our citizens, and instead now threatens our life, liberty, and property through usurpations of the Constitution. Emboldened by our own lack of responsibility and due diligence in these matters, government has exceeded its mandate and abandoned those founding principles which have made our nation exceptional. Our servant government has undertaken these unconstitutional actions in direct violation of their enumerated duties to the detriment of the people's liberty and the sovereignty of the Republic. Over many years and spanning multiple political administrations, the people who have, in good conscience, attempted to deliberate our grievances and voice our dissent against these offensive actions through both petition and assembly have been maligned and ignored with contempt. The people of the several states of Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Florida, Georgia, Hawaii, Idaho, Illinois, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Hampshire, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, Washington, West Virginia, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. Justly alarmed at these arbitrary and unconstitutional actions, have met as citizen delegates and sat in General Congress in the city of St. Charles, Illinois. Whereupon we, as these citizen delegates, have gathered in defense of divine justice, liberty, and the principles of limited government, now stand in clear recognition of the supreme law of the land, the Constitution of the United States of America. Therefore, we demand that government immediately reestablish constitutional rule of law, lest the people be forced to do so themselves. And we hereby serve notice that in the defense of freedom and liberty, there shall be no compromise to which we shall ever yield. Thank you.